Yeah, I mean, when we wanted to do the first edit, we definitely wanted to have something that was different than what you're seeing, because there's, you know, that constant flood of content that's just being pushed out there. It can feel really repetitive, right? So we wanted to do something that at least it felt a little different and kind of was more engaging. And a lot of that was Colin Kennedy's idea of how he wanted to shoot it too. We want it to feel like the way you would feel with your friends or your homies or your team or whoever it might be, your crew. But I wanted to feel engaging, like you were there. Because sometimes, yeah, that heavy, constant flood of trick porn, which is too much. Sometimes it's like excludes you. When it gets so gnarly, you're just like, I can't even watch this. I'm out of here. Shut it off. You know, it's funny, but sometimes that'll happen. And you know, not always. Obviously, really gnarly progressive skating is always still like exciting to watch, of course. But sometimes it is a little much. You're just like, dude, I'm the worst. I can't watch this anymore. I'm horrible. It's bad on the soul sometimes. So yeah, we just wanted to make it a little bit more engaging and more like the way you would with your friends. Yeah, as far as the full length, it's probably not really sort of in the plans, you know? I mean, other guys, some of the other dudes, I'm not speaking for myself, but they can get footage a lot easier and more of it. So, I mean, those guys will have full length type parts. Other than that, like even the one with Antonio, he's got a lot of footage, you know? So you gotta do something with it. And we can't do everything like how we shot everything with Colin. We can't always have everyone together. So there is a standard way of going about it as well. But it's definitely going to be more, yes, as just sprinkling things out as we're moving along. But a full length, it's tough, you know. It sucks to see that that's kind of like it's somewhat of a lost art, you know, but it's understandable because it's expensive. It comes up with tons of stuff, and that's why this guy and I were like, who could help us? We were actually kind of stuck as far as the name because we couldn't decide on something, you know. And we're like, we should talk to people and have them, you know, let's bounce ideas off of people. First person we thought of was Mark, because he's really just good at that, because he can just spew out ideas, whether they're good or bad. That's what he did, and he was texting me a bunch, just rifled off like a good 30 names too, right after I spoke with him on the phone. Tons of them were coming. Some okay, some really terrible, some really funny, some just all sorts of it, right? It's a mix. And then it was about 45 minutes roughly after I spoke to him. That's where that sort of screenshot with the 12:45 came up. It was on his iPad. It was 12:45 on the East Coast. It was the time, and he just wrote, and he screenshot it, and had this, you know, this illustrating app on it where he just wrote a 3 in the middle, right, and just wrote numbers. He texted that to me. I looked at it, and I was like, huh. That's an interesting. How did nobody use the numbers? It's like everything's numbers. Everything's about numbers. You think about it, like we're like obsessed with them. Stair count, how high, how long, what's your board, 825, what's your wheelbase, 14 3/8, and how much did you make? You know, dude, it's just numbers. It just started. My head just started spinning. I was like, so many ideas, and I hit Mark back. I was like, it's a great name. I was like, he's like, what did you think? Why did you think of that? What made you think of that? And he's like, I just saw it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers. And he just kept going. That was it. I was like, it's great. There's so much to think about it. Because I called him, and he's like, I didn't really think about that. Oh yeah, you're right. And then he just kept texting more, probably a good 70 more. Yeah, we definitely had an idea of like where we wanted it to take that thing actually. As it evolved, same thing. We started with a few things and a few different segments. We were trying to basically keep it positive, try to, you know, show some more personality of guys, and keep the stuff pretty, for the most part, light and easy, you know, while they were doing these bigger projects and stuff like that. So they could actually just be doing that, still be, you know, visible. They didn't disappear for a year, 2 years, you know. I mean, like you can't do that anymore. Like even 4 years. Like I've had a part that took 4 years, you know, like that's a kid all through high school, basically. It's 4 years of high school, right? Like he graduates and he forgot completely who, 4 years, you're like, who the hell's Eric Koston? I don't know. I forgot. Oh yeah, that dude. Or whoever it may be, you know. So we were like, how did that work? We'd hold all the footage, you know, and even photos and stuff like that for almost like 3 or 4 years. It's kind of crazy if you think about it like that. And we thought like, look, we could do these other things, have a park, get cool footage that's relatively easier for guys, you know, while they're doing that other stuff. Everything just sort of evolved and kept growing from there. And we definitely changed the way, I think, you know, skateboard media had to go, actually. Really, we saw that it was that change, the shift was coming. Saw that YouTube is like becoming what it's become. But yeah, it was, you know, it did shocked everyone. People didn't like it, you know, and then they all had to evolve and do that as far as skateboard media in their own form, right? But like we were talking about change, dude, it happens. So you can get on the bus, or you gonna watch that thing just drive past you. Anytime you get a new sponsor, there's like a little bit of that motivation or that boost that kind of you want to really, you want to prove yourself. You want to keep your sponsor happy. You want to you know, deliver for them. But it's also, like you said, it is part of just like, I guess the evolution of me, the way things kind of happen throughout, you know, from S to Lakai to there. You know, people might not love what happened, but things did, and people don't really know the actual stories of why and how it evolved the way it did, but it has. I'm really happy at Nike, and it's a really good fit for me because of how much I, you know, collected sneakers and was into it and into shoe design, and all of my shoe design influences from Nike. So it's like duh. Duh. It's exactly what it makes total sense. It's overwhelming. Still at times I walked on my campus and you see they have these huge sort of banner type flag things of all these athletes, you know, and I'm in one of them. Kobe's in the next one, and Kyrie and Roger Federer and Neymar. It's pretty insane. Because we, as skaters, we never feel like we're like some super athlete, right? We're just like, we're skaters. But they definitely consider us athletes, you know, and they treat us just like any of their athletes, you know. It always feels a little weird being a skater, you know. I guess we're not used to, I don't think we'll ever get used to that sort of treatment. And that feels good. I'm not gonna lie, it feels great. It's a trip when you have to stand back and actually think about that, because I don't think about that all the time. But then you look at my like second shoe campaign and the cameos of people that showed up. I mean, Tiger Woods is in the thing, dude. Never in my life would I have thought Tiger Woods would be doing a shoe campaign for me. I felt like also at that time, skateboarding, footwear was pretty cookie cutter. Everyone was ripping everyone off. And there was no creativity. And it was boring. And I knew that it was going to be, it was a shocker. I mean, it was 2 years, just from the concept, the original concept of the shoe. I looked at it and I was like, that's weird. That's kind of, but it's interesting. You know, it had that effect on me. And so that's what I wanted that effect to happen to people. You know, not everyone's going to love it, but you can't make everyone happy. But I felt like I wanted to do something that will push things and be a little different. I wasn't just doing it to be different either. It's actually to perform well too for skateboarding. We wanted to stir up the pot. I guess I'm a bit of an instigator at times. So it definitely pissed some people off. Keep numbers going, do some more edits, drop more product, drop new editions, you know. I actually want to be able to skate more a little bit this year and try to film a little bit more for these edits, you know, not be sort of stuck on the behind the desk type of vibe, you know, but it happens, you know, and I have a family and it's hard. You know, I want to be out skating and filming, but it gets tough. It's tough trying to juggle it all, but that's my life. My life's a juggle.